Barstool Sports is a company that you either love them or hate them. I guess to their credit, there's no one who has a neutral feeling about Barstool. If you know about them, you either really love them or you really hate them. And recently they have come under two separate controversies. One of them being that one of the members of their team said the N-word while live. Not a great look.
Gotta get some yayo, double up, nigga. What you need,
So that was Mintzy, his name is, I believe, Ben Mintzy, who during his morning segment, while doing rap lyrics, while singing a rap song, I think that's an NWA song. I recognize the words. I don't remember what song it is. Irrelevant, to be honest. But while rapping in the morning, he, I guess, accidentally just hit the N-word. Hard R. Not hard R, but still, it doesn't really matter. Again, white guy saying the N-word. Never okay. So this person was subsequently fired to the dismay of, I guess, Barstool boss, former boss, Dave Portnoy. I don't really even know what he is now. But he tweeted out a video 6 minutes long. We're not about to watch the whole thing. Emergency press conference. Ben Mintz has left the building. So Ben Mintz.
Okay, emergency press conference time. Bad news. This sucks. So today we had to fire Ben Mintz, the artist formerly known as Ben Mintz. It stems from his Wake Up with Mintzy. Ironically, finally got to do him live, and he was rapping lyrics to a rap song, reading the words off his phone. And he rapped a racial slur. He turned white as a ghost. You could tell instantly, he's like, oh my God, what did I do? It's like,
so this is where, he goes on and tries to make excuses and not really apologize, but say, he was so sorry immediately. We're not going to apologize for it, obviously, because we're not pussies, but he was so sorry. Yeah, it's okay, here's the thing. There's 5 things you just can't do, right? Literally, probably not even that many. One of them is say the N-word if you're not black. And, Barstool, a bit of a firebrand, likes to walk the line. This guy in particular, Dave Portnoy, has had a history of saying the N-word, which kind of explains probably why he's actually backing his guy. But for some reason, there are just people who like to dance up against the line. And if you say, hey, you can't say the N-word, they're gonna want to say it. You can't say the F slur. They're gonna want to say it. I don't really get that brand of humor, shock jock kind of humor, but that's kind of the entire brand of Barstool. So Dave Portnoy decides that it is actually the biggest disgrace in the world that someone was fired for saying the most racist thing you can say.
It was there's no way he meant to do that. He's just not the brightest bulb to ever come down the pipe, and he just screwed up, and he knew he screwed up. And there was no hatred behind it, no nothing. Still awful, but not my wildest dreams that I think I'd be sitting here being we had to fire Ben Mintz. Penn felt differently. And I've been fighting tooth and nail, as has Erica, as has Dan, to keep Ben and say this is the wrong decision. But Penn operates in a world that we don't operate in it.
So this Penn person that they are talking about, we'll get to them in a second, but Dave Portnoy immediately passes the buck because of course he does. But at the same time, he's complaining that, oh man, we just couldn't, we wanted to do this, I wanted to do this. But the higher ups, they just won't let us be. We can't even say the N-word anymore at Barstool. What is going on? But that is also Dave Portnoy's fault because Barstool Sports fully acquired by Penn Entertainment. That's the Penn they wwere talking about, in $388 million deal. So Dave Portnoy, who's founded Barstool, decided to sell it off, cash in almost $400 million. Makes sense, right? Checks out. But Dave also wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to sell out for hundreds of millions of dollars and at the same time still maintain that level of individuality where he can just go off and do all the awful things he used to do and get away with it because he's Dave Portnoy. He's the boss. Now, he's no longer the boss because he decided to sell out. And now he has actual corporate overlords who are not just weird 40-year-old dudes who think they're still in a frat. He has an actual business to be run, and now he's mad that business people are hey, we don't want to put guys on the air who are saying racial slurs. Except Dave. Dave is the only guy who can go in the air and say racial slurs, I suppose. Now, Barstool fans are an interesting group of people. Not only is the company full of 40-year-old guys who think they're still in a frat, there's also a bunch of 40-year-old guys who think they're still in a frat that follow them. It's pretty sad and pathetic, I'm not gonna lie, but to each their own, I guess. I'm not here to judge. The replies to the emergency press conference, this is a bad move. He did nothing wrong ethically. You sure about that? Thank you, old white guy, for clarifying the ethics of racism for all of us. We were holding our breath for that for a second. Yeah, like, dude, come on, saying the N-word? What is this, fucking communist China now? We can't even say the N-word? Getting a gambling license pulled because of a guy saying a rap lyric? That's the biggest reach I've seen. Good excuse, though. This is the thing, and this is how I know that everyone knows that saying the N-word is wrong, because all of the excuses that have for it, it's like, oh, he did nothing wrong ethically. He was just singing a rap lyric. No one is going to put their like face behind saying the N-word isn't bad, because everyone knows it's bad. Obviously, we're all past like kindergarten. We know that saying the N-word is bad. When you're not black, I need to specify, but like everyone whose excuse is like, oh, he was just singing along. He was just reading it. He was just reading a rap lyric. He was just doing this. Like, no one is going to come out and be like, hey, I think saying the N-word is cool. I mean, Nazis would come out and say that, and like KKK members maybe, but you know, that's different than we all also understand that those people are awful. Barstool is no longer yours, Dave. What an embarrassing moment for you. You're an employee now, kid. Back to the paper route. Clown reply. It is like a weird thing to flex on someone like this, but it's not a clown reply. This is just 100% a fact. Coco is right. It's no longer his company. He's an employee now. Yeah, he sold his company to someone with more money. He sold out, and now he's just an employee. He gets told what to do just like everyone else there. We truly live in the dumbest times. Yeah, dumb times is when I can't say the N-word. Free speech is when I can say the N-word, and everything else is cancel culture. We've been over this. It wasn't a good look either that the next Dave Portnoy post was just an ad for him. He also got ripped to shreds. Barstool is dead. Mintz was the sacrificial lamb. Mintzy, Barstool is dead. No Mintzy, no Barstool. Was this guy like actually that famous? I had never heard of him. I'm someone who doesn't really care for Barstool, clearly, but I have never heard of this guy. I know some of the other Barstool people. Obviously, I know who Dave Portnoy is. There's like KFC. There's some other guys. Big Cat. I know some of them. I'd never heard of this guy. There's also a lot of Barstool. I'm a Mets fan, so a lot of the Barstool guys are Mets fans for some reason. And I just see them on my timeline from time to time. So maybe that's why I know those guys. The picture hits different after Mintzy firing. Dave Mays here to sell you another product. Of all the reasons I had expected Barstool to eventually die, I didn't expect people were firing Mintzy. But here we are. Actually, that's true, because there are a lot of reasons that Barstool should have been finished as a company a long time ago. Like I said earlier, Dave Portnoy, of course, didn't think firing someone for saying the N-word was going to happen, because he himself says it all the time.
To all my niggas that been living it up, what you do, it's going to be hit after hit. He'll just yell something in his EDP like twang, like fuck this nigga, like in the middle, and everyone's like, what? And then he'll just go quiet for like another 20 minutes, and then he'll say something like, Brady's a bitch ass nigga, fucking rape him.
So yes, shockingly, that guy didn't think saying the N-word live on air was like a fireable offense. I can't understand why. That's crazy, right? Also, he had some great takes about Colin Kaepernick back in the day. Obviously, I mean, just the most, not only did he offend like black people with these takes, he offended like 6 other different groups and just anyone with a modicum of sense.
So I'm going to say something that's racist, but I don't think it's racist. I don't think if you think something and don't say or act upon it, you can be called a racist.
But you're saying it. But you're going to say it.
I'm going to say it. When I heard this story, I didn't read it. I didn't know why he was saying there. I was like, oh, he's an ISIS guy. Like, that was my original thought, because he kind of looks like...
He is very confusing. He is very confusing. I will give you that.
Throw a head wrap on this thing.
Wait, you thought he was not standing for the national anthem because he wanted to, like, kill all Americans?
No, I thought he maybe had some terrorist Arabic...
All right, listen.
Maybe he was like on Palestine's side or something.
Yeah, so boom, he goes in, that's actually some advanced level racism. In the span of like 45 seconds, he was able to shit on the Palestinian people. He was able to shit on every person of Islamic faith around the globe and black people. 45 seconds, he did like the racist speed run. I gotta give him credit for that. I mean, credit where credit's due, my guy. But yeah, this guy's an awful person. He's a scumbag. That's like the other two highest ranking people in the company also sitting with him, yumming it up. Barstool, maybe you could see why I'm not a huge fan of Barstool. I don't know. They're just not the greatest people. Like, they do a lot of trafficking in, racial stereotypes, saying slurs, as we can see, doing all sorts of, like I said, they live on the line. When you don't actually have anything funny to say, just say something shocking, and then people will laugh out of like sheer discomfort. And so if you're just racist, everyone will be like, oh, that's true. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this company, that the people in these videos don't think saying the N-word is a big L. I'm also not surprised that people who are fans of these people in these videos are like, someone got fired for saying the N-word. This is the fall of society. And now they've been crying like little babies for a couple of days. Yeah, here we go. Dave Portnoy. Anybody who disagrees with me saying Kaepernick looks like he's related to bin Laden is a moron. Facts only. Get it? They're both brown. They both have like tan skin. So if by this metric, I also look like I'm related to bin Laden. Yeah, let's end it on one final note of Dave Portnoy saying the N-word again.
This is how bad. There was a hardened criminal, two down. He goes, nigga, I never shit in these things. And Hank shit.
The Teflon Don.
Yeah, he's like, are you crazy? Dude,
So yeah, I don't know what's more offensive, watching a white guy say the N-word or watching the other two white guys laugh hysterically like it's the funniest thing they've ever heard. Like, am I more upset as a black guy or as someone who enjoys good comedy? I really can't tell. Oh yeah, this is a classic. Also, one last thing. I gotta show this one. This is him, Barstool, Dave Portnoy, old school Dave Portnoy, just thinking that rape is funny. I don't really know how else to say it. Just hilarious stuff. This guy's a comedy legend.
You posted the following on your site. I never condone rape, but if you're a size 6 and you're wearing skinny jeans, you kind of deserve to be raped.
Correct. I stand by that. I think it's a funny joke.
You think rape is funny?
No, I didn't say that. I think it's a funny joke.
Do you understand how offensive that is?
No, I obviously don't.
That's like something your dumb, edgy sophomore friend says. That guy's like 35 in that video, dude. He's literally like in his 30s, a grown-ass man being like, we can't joke about raping anymore? What is this? Like, it's just embarrassing. I don't know. It's, yeah. Go woke, go broke, libtards. That's all I've got to say. Dave Portnoy. This guy is woke now, apparently, according to people who are really upset that someone who said the N-word live on camera lost their job. I can't believe it. The world is crumbling. It's over for Barstool and society at large. Let's just be honest. This is the end. Make sure you kiss your family and tell you love them, because this is the apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Yeah, the guy said the N-word on camera. I'm still confused at like what people's argument is for why he shouldn't have lost his job. Go, if you're like a cashier at Target and you go yell the N-word at someone, if you go sing along to the NWA song and say the N-word out loud as a white guy, you're probably going to lose your job too. You want to know why? Because that's not an okay thing to do. I'm kind of confused on why that is confusing for some people, but yeah, what are you going to do? All right, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, bada bang, bada boom. Okay, bye.